Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are all doing awesome. Hang on one second. I'll make sure I got the proper audio going on here. Let me go back and make sure you can hear me. All right. Sounds like I gotcha. Okay, let me go back to here. Got it. Boom. Okay. How we doing, everybody? Coming at you from the home base. Good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining me. I know we're outside of our regular time, but I do appreciate it. We had to push it back an hour. Just want to make sure if you guys are hopping on live right now, do me a favor. Oh, Brian, thanks for letting me know. No picture. Cool. Let me know where you're coming in from. Excuse me. What market you're coming in from, where you are, and then as always, if you could smash the like button, smash the heart button. That tells the Facebook algorithm, tell everybody they can that we are live right now. So go ahead and do that for me. That way we can pay it forward and get other people on here as well. Brian, welcome. Good to see you. Queens, New York. Nice to see you. Hope everything's going well. Hope your week is off to an awesome start. We have Vanita coming in from Minnesota, one of my students. How are you, Vanita? Thanks for joining me. Really appreciate you coming by. So we have New York, we have Minnesota, we have PA. Dre the Boss Shelbourne, how are you, sir? How are you? What part of PA? Is that Philly or Pittsburgh, or where are you? And keep on joining, folks. And like I said, as always, por favor, go ahead and hit the like button and the heart button to spread this out. It tells Facebook that we are here and interacting, and to go ahead and give us spread the word as far and as wide as possible. All right. We have Karen Richardson coming in from Oklahoma. Awesome. Welcome, Karen. Good to see you. Rosemary from Las Vegas. How are you? Good to see you. Dre is coming in from outside of Philly. Awesome. Okay. Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. I have some friends from there, from Center City and King of Prussia area. That's sort of a thing. So tonight, guys, we're going to be touching on something that a lot of people kind of talk about. It's dealing with those headache clients. Dealing with the 24/7 availability and getting to work a job or a career that is really fulfilling, right? So see if we can find a solution so that we can kind of take some of the things off the table for you that aren't so pleasant. Because there's always going to be things about any career that you're in that you might or may not like, but we're going to get to the bottom of a few things, and I'm going to give you guys some hopefully some new perspectives on this. So. Guys, as you're continuing to hop on, go ahead and let me know where you're coming from. Just to give you guys a recount or a reminder, right? Brian, we've done this before, but remember, New York is $2.5 million is your average commercial sales price. Minnesota is 1.4 million, right? PA, Pennsylvania, we have coming in at 1.2 million. Okay, Karen in Oklahoma, you guys making 1.3 million on average. Lisa Gonzalez is in Miami. Oh, so we're at 1.6 million. And also Georgia. Okay, so Atlanta or Georgia in general is going to be 1.2 million. I see Jay says he's 10 minutes from King of Prussia. Cool. Yeah, I know it well. Yeah, I know people that went to Villanova, so I'm familiar with the area for sure. Yeah. So again, guys, thanks for joining. I really appreciate you joining me outside the normal time. But we're going to go ahead and get down to it. But just to keep in mind, guys, what I always try to do and always start off all the lives with is put everything in a perspective for you, right? So the things I'm going to show you today, just to try to give you a little perspective and to give you something to think about, something to walk away from, and give you maybe some new ideas. Okay. So let me go over and hop onto my Zoom and we'll get the party started. Sound like a plan? And again, guys, don't forget, if you're just joining us, go ahead and hit the like button and hit the heart button. That will be telling the Facebook algorithm to let everybody know that's out there, that we need to, make them aware that we're live right now. We're outside of our normal time, so it might be a smaller crowd tonight. But If I can just help just one person improve their life, I have done my job by doing what I do here. So trying to pay it forward, guys. Okay, so let's take a look, see. All right, hang on 1 second. Okay, so let's go back here. Technology is crazy, so cool, all the things that we can do, but it sometimes has its limitations. So just pulling up the, thanks for the likes and the hearts, guys, really appreciate it. Trying to help as many folks as we can here learn as much as they can. So let's go with here, go here. 1 sec. Let a couple more people hop on, and we'll be rocking and rolling. And let me just make sure we got it in the group here. 1 second. Okay, we are live, large and in charge. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so guys, let's go over here. Okay, let's go with the slideshow. So, as I mentioned, so if you guys are tired of working weekends, you're tired of difficult clients, and you're tired of 24/7 availability to your customers, by all means, you're going to want to pay attention tonight. Maybe you pick up a little piece of pen and paper, because I'm going to be throwing some things at you that I think you might find interesting, okay? So just remember, okay, this is normal, right? Like I mentioned before, most careers are going to have ups and downs. There's never going to be anything that's always 100%, rainbows and butterflies, right? But at the end of the day, everybody goes through it. They have those hassles. They have those clients that, just make life just difficult, more difficult than it needs to be, right? And just remember that, like, whenever you're talking about anyone that's trying anything new or getting exposed to a new skill set, right? Everybody that is at the top started at the bottom. No one just comes in born knowing how to do these things. They learn somewhere, okay? So even the person that makes it easy, right, struggled at some point. Like, for instance, like the Olympics are on right now, right? All those, I call them kids because they're far younger than me at this point, but all those athletes, right, they have dedicated themselves, got training, dedicated their lives, most of them, to what it is that they're doing, to the skill set that they have learned. So they make it look really, really easy. It's just because all the hours and hours and years of hard work. Okay. And it's okay. It's okay. This is a place where we can all talk. It's a community where we can all talk. We can let it out. Because someone else it might help somebody else to know that they're not alone and they're also going through it. In fact, if you guys don't mind, right, do me a favor. And if you guys are, anyone here, okay, by a show of hands, or actually if you put a +1 in the comments, right? If anyone here has ever had a client that they wishes they could fire, they feel like they're tied to their cell phones, right? These things are a blessing and a curse, in terms of, feeling like you're just tethered to your phone, you get texts at all hours of the night or emails and that sort of thing. Guys, just type +1 in the comments for me and let me know that, like, we're not all alone, right? Okay. So if you're ever wondering if this will ever end, it will, okay? And I'm going to show you a few things and give you some strategies that I think are going to help alleviate this to a certain degree, right? So, and if you're wondering, if there's something that you can do about it, there absolutely is, okay? But you have to do something about it. You have to take a step. You are where you are because of wherever you are in life is a sum of all the individual decisions that you had made to date, right? So if you want to stay where you are, keep doing what you're doing. But if you want a new outcome, then you're going to have to start making some new decisions, right? So what my goal for you guys in this training, right, is really to show you the benefits of what adding a little bit of commercial brokerage to your skill set, like just learning how to close just a few commercial deals a year and how that can have a major impact on your business and your lifestyle. Like I was mentioning before, New York, Brian from New York is $2.5 million, right? So a 3% fee, that's a $75,000 for one average transaction in the state of New York, right? We have Oklahoma, we have 1.3 million, right? So an average size transaction is $39,000, right? You take Florida, for instance, an average size transaction is about $57,000. So it doesn't take, but if you learn the skills just to close 1, 2, or 3 of these deals, it can have a major impact on your finances, right? My other goal is to show you that the only way for you to close more properties is through following a proven plan with the right tools and the right guidance, right? Daniel, from the Karate Kid, right? He didn't know karate, but he learned it from somebody who already knew it, and it sped up his learning curve, right? He learned in a matter of months what Mr. Miyagi had. He leveraged Mr. Miyagi's years of experience, right? Same thing. And finally, I'm going to show you, how we bridge the gap between residential and commercial by learning the Commercial Real Estate Foundation, demystifying valuation, and why you need to build a solid investor list. Okay, that's me. I'm Christian Peter, CCIM, and I just want to let you guys know this is not theory. This is not something that I read in a book and I theorize about. Not something on the internet or watch a YouTube video about. This is what I do day in, day out. Okay, and just to show you, I don't like to brag, but I want to show you an example of what's possible there. If you see me with a big old smile ear to ear, I can zoom in on that, right? This is from one transaction, from one sale of one property that I earned in a single day, right? And if you could read at the bottom there, 178,000, right? That was from the sale of one $3.98 million building. So my point is, the transactions on the commercial side can have a drastic impact on your family, right? Your net worth, being able to pay off debt, being able to live the life that you always knew you were capable of, right? And just hadn't maybe figured out the way to do it. Commercial is an avenue to do that. And it doesn't take years and years and years to figure this out. It's something that can be learned. So my credentials, I'm the owner of Dark Horse Commercial Brokerage. I'm a CCIM. I spent over 10 plus years in the property management. I have a degree in entrepreneurship and small business management, and a couple other things. I have a construction background, so electrical contractor, and I'm also a master plumber. So to say that I see commercial real estate from a 360-degree view is a pretty accurate statement, because I've learned it from the property management side, the brokerage side. I'm also an investor, and I've also done the construction and development side, right? So what I would love nothing more to do is impart what I know, what I've learned over the last 25 years, is impart just a portion of that to help you folks make your lives better and make things just a little bit easier by teaching you guys how to just close that 1 or 2 extra deals a year. Put another $40,000, $50,000, $80,000 in your pocket a year. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to kind of draw a comparison between commercial and residential, but please know, it's not my intent to belittle or talk badly about the residential side of the practice. I just want to show you, by contrasting residential and commercial, what the possibilities are on the commercial side. By adding commercial, how it can greatly impact your life and that of your family. Now, most people get into commercial brokerage, they want either more time or more money, or both. So, and this is through speaking with thousands of agents at this point, right? If you're compare and contrast residential versus commercial, the one thing that sticks out most is so many of my students say that they feel like there's this expectation of 24/7 availability to your clients, right? They feel that, no matter what time they call, it's acceptable, it's fine, there aren't any boundaries, and they feel bad about having to always pick up the phone, because if not, somebody else will, right? Whereas on the commercial side, if you think about it, we're dealing mostly with investors and business owners. So the expectation is that of Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, basically the time when business gets done, right? Maybe it's 8 to 6, but for the most part, I can count on one hand, or maybe 2 hands, how many showings I've had on a weekend in the last 18 years. Right? The fact of the matter is, most commercial business gets done during business hours, Monday through Friday. right? Whereas on the residential side, you guys tend to have more transactions per year. On the commercial side, we have fewer transactions, but they tend to be larger, right? Now, when you're dealing with the residential side, what are people buying? People are buying their home, their dream home, their forever home. It's a very, very personal decision, right? So what happens is it's very emotionally charged, as opposed to an investor who's buying his third or fourth or fifth or 10th property, right? And for he or she, it is just a financial decision. You know, does this work? Yes or no? Does it hit the number that they want? So it's a lot less emotionally charged. So, you know, whereas having, you know, on the commercial side, we have a lot more business-minded clients. And you guys, do me a favor, if you don't mind. Give me a +1 in the chat, right? Type in +1. If you've ever had someone that they made their decision seemingly 100% off emotions, if you ever had to deal with emotional clients, right? Not to say that people on the commercial side are never, ever emotional. We're all human beings, but the decision-making process is a lot less emotional on the commercial side. Yes, Lisa's with me, Dre's with me, right? Lily's with me, yeah. So we've all had those clients that, you know, they bring emotion into it, and that's how they factor into the decision making, when, you know, it doesn't always have to be like that, and you have a far, far less of it on the commercial side. Right, so like I said, the decision making kind of credentials are more feeling based as opposed to logic based. On the commercial side, we tend to have longer deal cycles. It takes longer to close the deal, but again, when we talk about the commissions, they more than offset, and we'll get into that in a second. And mind you, everything I'm going to show you here, none of this is opinion. This is fact. This is pulled from speaking to thousands of agents, and as well as reaching out, and you'll see we're going to be quoting from the NAR, the National Association of Realtors. And so as a result of having, you know, less availability to clients, right, or less expected availability to clients, we tend to have more weekends off. You know, it's a Monday through Friday type of business. And so in fact, if any of you guys would like to work more during the week and work less during the weekends, can I give me a +1? Do me a favor, or hit the like button. How about that? If that sounds appealing, because you know, if you've ever gotten to the point where you're burnt out from having to work weekend after weekend and work open houses and show houses and so forth, give me there we go. Okay, I see some people giving a thumbs up. Yeah, if that's ever been something that you've experienced. Okay, so now these are the facts that I want to draw from, right? The average commercial realtor, you know, makes $85,000 annually versus $39,000 for residential realtors. Now, this is all according to the National Association of Realtors. Now, not that I want to show you that that's the be-all, end-all. An $85,000 salary is a good amount of money. But more importantly, I want to show you that it's more than double what the average residential realtor makes, right? And that's not to talk badly about the residential folks, but it's just on average, commercial folks make twice that what the average residential folks make. Okay. In fact, if you look at it, right, if you look at the median gross income across, according to the National Association of Realtors commercial member profile, the median gross income of commercial sales agents is $153,000, right? Which is why I recommend a lot of my students that you get to the sales side of commercial as quickly as possible. Leasing is good, but the real money is on commercial sales. Okay. And then also, leasing agents have a median gross income of $134,000. Not shabby at all. Trust me, it's way more than double what the average American makes. But just to give you an idea where the earnings lie in commercial. And I'm sure none of you out there are average, right? So we're not concerning ourselves with average, but I just want to show, draw a comparison between the both sides. And then finally, what I wanted to show to you folks was, according to the NAR, again, the average commercial transaction size in markets served by realtors is about 1.6 million. I've read off what your individual states do, right? But just to give you an idea, nationwide. So if you take a nationwide, everybody made 1.6 on a deal. You know, you're looking at $48,000 for a 3% transaction. You know, states like New York, Hawaii, California, Nevada, those are all much higher than 1.6 million. But for the most part, the average is right around 1.6. Okay, and then let's go ahead and contrast that to the U.S. median home price is about $340,000. Now I know the folks from California are going to say, well, the average house in California is you know, $600,000 or $700,000. I can totally appreciate that, right? But don't forget the average transaction in California is 2.8 million. So you know, you're still 3 or 4 times the average commercial property is still 3 or 4 times that of the average home. Okay, but let's just go into a little bit, because this is something I get a lot, right? Is most people want to know how commercial commissions are earned. Now, if you're doing a lease, you have what's called a gross lease value. So you get paid on 3% of a lease. So for instance, let's say you had a $10,000 a month lease, and there's 12 months of the year. That means it's $120,000 that person pays out. If it's a 5-year deal, that's a $600,000 gross lease value. You take 3% of that, and that's $18,000. Not bad. Paid at signing, you know, for a $10,000 a month lease. Now, if you were to look at the sales side of things, right? In most states, commercial commission structures mimic residential commissions up to $5 million. So, for instance, if you were to look at in your area, the average there's a total fee of about 6% for when a home gets sold, right? So we'll take that $1.6 million, right, and you multiply that by 6%, and the average commission is going to be $96,000, and which equates to $48,000 per side. So we're going to, you know, now we're going to compare and contrast, you know, residential versus commercial, right? So median home price of $340,000, typical sales about 3%. Commission on that's about $10,200, as opposed to the average sale price for commercial, 3% is going to equal $48,000. So just on the whole, just ballpark numbers, and every state is going to be different, right? But you have to look at, you know, how commercial is oftentimes, you know, 3, 4, sometimes close to 5 times the amount of a lot of residential transactions. You know, so if you look at these two, 48,000 as compared to 10,000, you know, you'd have to almost sell 5 homes to equal 1 commercial sale. Let's say it's less than that. 3 homes to equal 1 commercial sale. You have to do it 3 times more clients, 3 times more headaches, and so forth, right? Now here's the thing. What I don't want you to do is to abandon what's working for you, right? So what my recommendation is don't abandon what works for you. You folks are all here. I'm sure you already have businesses that are up and running and going, okay? What I would recommend is, if you want to get rid of those headache clients, you want to go back to those folks that are, you know, are your good clients. You know, for instance, anybody here, just by a show of hands, right? Give me a heart, right, in the comments if this applies to you. Have you guys ever noticed that about 80% of your clients are really nice people, you know, but there's always about that 20% of folks that they just love to give you a headache, you know, or they're just troublesome, right? So and conversely, what I've experienced is that 80% of the headaches come from 20% of the clients. So 1 out of every 5 clients is the headache client. So how nice would it be, right, for you to be able to you know, if a client gives you a headache, you take them and you refer them out. You get a referral fee from a friend of yours or somebody else in your office, right? So you don't have to work with them. You don't have to deal with, you know, their antics if you know they're really difficult to work with, right? So what I recommend is keep doing what you're doing, but just add commercial on. Think of it like a tool belt, right? Maintenance guy with a tool belt. And you know, you already got a screwdriver, you already got a plier, you already got a you know, socket wrench. All you're doing is you're just adding an additional tool. You're adding a hammer, you're adding a screw gun, you know? And then what that'll do is that'll allow you to, number one, pick up those 1 or 2 or maybe 3 transactions a year, right? And, you know, which could be extra $30, $40, $50, $80,000, could be $100,000, right? And then also with the extra time that you get back because you've been able to close these transactions, you don't have to deal with those headache clients. You don't have to, you know, feel like you have to pick up the phone every time it rings. You don't have to come from a place of scarcity where it feels like there is no, you know, you have to do it just to keep the lights on, and if not, someone else will do it. That's fine. Just deal with the people that you want to deal with. Close a couple bigger transactions on the commercial side, and I promise you, your life will be a lot easier. Can anybody just give me a +1 in the chat if they would like to have less life, make more money, right? And then have higher earnings potential? Can anybody give me a +1 in the chat if that would be a good idea, right? I can show you how to do it. I believe that every single skill is something that if one man or woman has done it and learned it, another one can too, right? Yeah, I see Rosemary says one, Lily says a million, right? Marina, absolutely. Okay, Brian. So that's all we want, right? All of us. We want to make more money, have more time with family, have less headaches at work. So why don't we go ahead and do that and work a balance, right? Keep that business going, add a little bit of an additional skill set so you can close those types of transactions so that you can enjoy life a little bit more. I think that's what we're all here for. We're here for, not a very long time on this earth. So we want to try to live it, as not painlessly as possible, but with the least amount of stress as necessary, right? So if you guys are interested and want to learn more about commercial, you want to learn how to close these types of transactions, I have a 6-month course that I walk my students through. We have a very specific curriculum that'll take you through how to prospect, what to say, who to say it to, how to work with leases, how to work with the sale process, how to market yourself as an agent, how to build sales lists, how to value properties, very important. You can have the best network, you can have the best listings, but if you do not know how to market a property properly, it's going to sit for a very, very long time, right? So valuation is a big part of what we do. Once you learn this skill and you have this skill set, you have it for the rest of your career. Which brings me to the next point. You guys, do me a favor, type in the chat for me how much longer you plan on being in real estate for, right? So if you have like 5 years left in your career, type in 5. Just do me a favor, because I think, or 10 or 20, or whatever that number might be, because oftentimes people think of, we're thinking, quarter to quarter, year to year, right? And it's like saying, okay, what am I going to get in this next year? What am I going to get in the next, 6 months, right? But if you really want to think big picture, right? Asian countries have 100-year plans, right? So people plan beyond where their life expectancy is, right? They're thinking way down the road, thinking really, really big picture, right? So do me a favor and type into the chat how many years you plan on being in business. The reason being, if you, let's say, are from, I don't know, Minnesota, right? Like Nita, if we're at 1.4 million, right? And you're talking about, a $40,000 fee, let's just say you close one a year, right? And it looks like Dre's going to be in the business another 20 years, right? Rosemary looks like 7 to 10 years, right? Exactly. So it's not about that one deal that you do this year. It's you learning this skill this year and then being able to close just one of those deals for the rest of your career. So for instance, Dre, you're in Pennsylvania, 1.2 million, right? 3% on 1.2 million, that's $36,000 average, right? You close one of those over the next 20 years, 36 times, that's $720,000 over the remainder of your career just by closing one additional commercial transaction. That adds up to big money, right? That could be your entire retirement plan, right? $36,000 a year invested wisely could be, well in excess of $1 million or $1.5 million 20 years from now, right? So it's not that far out of reality to just say, listen, let me learn this skill today so I have it forever and so I can earn forever for the rest of my career. Because a lot of people, explain to me that, they're just going about their residential practice, and next thing you know, they have something just kind of falls in their lap. Oh, some guy or gal that they sold a house to, they say, oh, wow, so-and-so is opening up a pizzeria, or so-and-so is an investor. So-and-so's brother-in-law needs somebody, and I thought of you, whatever that might be, right? So think of it big picture, folks. Think of it down the road. Think of it like the Chinese government does, right? Or I think it's the Japanese. They think like in that 100-year plan. Think of what this would be for the rest of your career. Think of the lifetime value of this skill, okay? Again, I'd love to help you. We have a 6-month training program. If any of you guys are interested in learning more about it, type training down into the comments below, right? I would love to be able to help you out. We can hop on the phone, we can discuss and come up with a strategy, how I might be able to help you, or at the very least, point you in the right direction, okay? So go ahead and type training down into the comments, because I'd love to show you how we can add commercial onto your skill set so you can take advantage of this for years and years and years to come. Oh, look at that. Lily's one of my students, and she said, great program, guys. Thank you, Lily. I really do appreciate it. I put my heart and soul into this. So I hope, she's a fantastic student, and she's making excellent headway in the business. So if you guys are interested, come let me know. Type training into the comments. I'll reach out to you, and we'll schedule a time that we can talk. If not, if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them now. If not, I will see you folks next week at 5 p.m. on Monday. Okay. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope you got a little bit of new perspective. Hope you got maybe a little new information today. And I look forward to helping you all in the future. Hope you're having a great day. Bye-bye now.